it's important to think about what skill sets are required for a functional governance body and why this might be. There's really no one right answer to this. At the end of the day, skill sets are not definitive, and not all board members need to have the same skills. Likewise, not all boards or governing committees need to have the same skills. It's going to depend on the nature of the services you are delivering, as well as what you're seeking to achieve for your organisation in the near future. However, if we were looking for some key skills, some of the following would be ideal. Obviously, someone with knowledge of the sector is important because they will have familiarity with the legislative and compliance framework. However, it doesn't have to be someone with knowledge of the aged care sector. There are other sectors with strong regulatory frameworks, and people from those sectors will have skills that are readily transferable. We might be looking at health, disability, or other community services. Another essential skill set is someone with business and financial acumen. Now, of course, they don't need to be a CPA, but you do need someone who has a good ability to read and understand financial and balance sheets. Ideally, you might also want to have someone with a good understanding of corporate governance. And what I mean here is really an understanding of the difference between the role of the board or management committee versus the management team, as well as technical know-how of how this might all work. Clinical skills is a requirement for at least one director for organisation in categories 5 and above, but even if you're not in those categories, that might be something you want to bring onto your board, particularly if you were considering being registered in those categories down the track. Someone with experience in risk or change management can also be really helpful to have on your board, particularly if you are looking to, for example, make some sort of major change over the next few years in the organisation. And finally, don't forget the soft skills are just as critical as technical expertise. For example, having someone with good communication skills, critical thinking skills, good awareness, attention to detail, teamwork skills, and someone who's good at actively engaging is really helpful to have on your board. If you're thinking about these skill sets, we always suggest that you analyse your governing body's existing skills, experience and background, and identify gaps that may need supporting or filling. The governing body's skill set should be diverse and also complementary. A board matrix or governing body matrix can assist with identifying the current skill sets and gaps. And you can ask your committee members or board members to help you complete this by asking them to fill out the relevant experience that they have.